Now, while the headlines may be full of Maori unemployment and poverty, a recent report shows the Maori asset base has grown by $16.5 billion in the last 5 years. To discuss what that means to all of us, we have in our Wellington studio economist Dr. Ganesh Nana, author of the Burl Maori Economy Report, and of course James Wheeler, the CEO of FOMA, the Federation of Maori Authorities.
Kia ora. Thank you for joining us. Let's start with you, Dr. Ganesh. It's my understanding you've measured the Maori asset base at $37 billion. Why have we never heard about this?
Well, I suppose this is the first time we've done it comprehensively, and it's not a trivial exercise because the way we collect statistics in New Zealand doesn't identify Māori businesses or the Māori economy separately. So it does require a little bit of effort from a range of people and a little bit of help from the Māori organisations themselves to supply us with the numbers and to total up all the numbers and to come up with an estimate. $37 billion.
What exactly is that made up of?
It's made up of lots of things, and I think that's one of the big findings that probably won't surprise me, but was a little bit of an eye-opener, was the breadth of the Māori economy. And it's not just the usual suspects of farming, fishing and forestry that we all know about, but the breadth of the Māori economy across the other industries, across manufacturing and building and into the tourism area and education services and health services. So what you're finding now is a story of the Māori economy developing across a range of fields, and that of course brings a whole lot more opportunities as well.
Of course, James Wheeler, you are contributing to the Māori economy. How are you doing that?
Well, at the Federation of Maori Authorities we have 150 members, and a lot of them very small, but some of them quite big, and we're part of that quantitative measure that Ganesh has been looking at, and I think that we are the Federation of Maori Authorities business units are about $10 billion of that 10 to 12 billion. So and that's growing year on year.
And this is good news. Why do we hardly ever hear about these awesome Māori business stories?
Well, you know what? I guess it's been a sleeping giant for a lot of decades, but now that giant is starting to wake up, and certainly with the release of the Burl report, I mean that's huge. And it's really, we're starting to flex our muscles now in the New Zealand economy.
At the risk of sounding patronising, Māori have head business?
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. We're entrepreneurs, you know. We've always been entrepreneurs. We've got a fantastic culture, and I look particularly at export and trade and how we can move our people and our business units through in terms of that. And our culture is huge, and that's a huge part of our business.
Ganesh, Māori businesses have a unique extra selling point, particularly on the international platform. What do you know about that?
Well, it has a unique opportunity to put the marketing message out there that this just isn't any other product. This is a product that has a culture, that has a heritage. It's a different selling point. What you're trying to do in the marketplace, which is huge and everybody gets lost in it, you're trying to create a point of difference that will attract buyers and attract consumers, and I think that's what we need to build on, and that's part of the challenge for the Māori economy. As James was saying, there are lots of small businesses and small entities in the Māori economy, and to enable them to actually exploit these sorts of opportunities does require some form of collaboration, because we're all too small to take on the rest of the world. So it does require a little bit of collaboration, a little bit of leadership, so that we actually do start bringing some of those entities or the strengths of those entities together for the benefit of all.
How much of the brown economy is actually based on treaty settlement money?
That's relatively small, and that's of course is the general misnomer that the Māori economy is all the iwi settlements, and those are small numbers in comparison. You're talking $36 billion, and we all know that the treaty settlements don't number anywhere near $36 billion. So that we can actually put to one side, and that just reinforces the history that the Māori economy isn't new. It's got history, and it's been building up slowly and ever so slowly, and lots of history and culture with that, and a history of entrepreneurship. But now what we're seeing is Māori coming into their own with collaboration, collaborative efforts, and venturing abroad into the export markets. And so yes, Māori economy was a sleeping giant, very definitely is waking up now.
James, how important is government support, and are Māori businesses receiving it?
Oh, I think it's always been important, but it's the same for New Zealand Inc. as well. You know, it's lots of New Zealand companies are looking for government support. You know, we're a trading nation. We live and die on our exports, and if we don't take our good exports to market in the right way, then we're going to fail. So it's incumbent on all of us, business in New Zealand, to do what we can, and we need at times government support to do that.
Sure. As a Māori business though, do you feel under more pressure to provide jobs for Māori than to maybe maintain profits?
Well, in our family business, Wakatū Corporation, we try and employ Māori where we can and family where we can, but at the end of the day, it's the best person for the job. So, you know, we have a range of, you know, I think we have 25 to 30% of our workforce is Māori, but that's because they're the good, you know, they're good enough to make it.
And so how do we spread this good news to the unemployed Māori of New Zealand?
Well, I was looking at some of the stats today, and you know, there's 200,000 odd Māori unemployed in the 15 to 24 year age bracket, and that's huge, and we've got to do something to fix that. And there's one word: education.
Education.
And it starts at the 5-year-olds. If we could put an extra teacher or a teacher's aide into those low decile schools, in a generation, would make a difference. We really would.
Okay, can I just ask you, Ganesh? We have what is the future for the Māori economy, and what impact will that have on the general economy?
Well, I think the big difference for the Māori economy is the perspective that the Māori businesses take, whether they be in corporations or trusts or iwi themselves. And it's very much that long-term perspective which is reinforced by the stakeholders. And that's the big difference between the businesses in the Māori economy and the mainstream economy. And that long-term perspective enables us to, hopefully enables us to put in these long-term investment plans and opportunities, whether it's science and innovation efforts or whether it's education, because we are investing for the long term, and it's a very hard sell to get into the mainstream where we're always looking for profits next year or the dividend payout next year. But if we have that longer term vision, then yes, the Māori economy is very definitely well placed to lead the New Zealand economy, because that's what we need if we are going to tackle the export businesses.
Excellent, thank you very much, that's good news. Thanks to you both for coming on to the show. Now, we also repeatedly invited the Māori Women's Welfare League and Hannah Tamaki onto the show to discuss the High Court decision, forcing the League to allow Hannah to run for its presidency. League General Manager Jackie Takani wasn't prepared to appear, citing a media ban. But she was prepared to blame Hannah Tamaki in a press statement. That includes, and I quote, "The League also notes the court's comments that Mrs Tamaki is not without responsibility for the situation that has befallen the League, given her direct participation in the establishment of the 10 new branches. It was that action that precipitated the present crisis." Since neither side was prepared to front, they both get our empty couch award. Scotty.